Okay, so we rejoin our heroes, a motley crew consisting of a half-elf named Minuet, a turtle named Olo, an orc named Thud, and a human named Damien. That was a guess. I think I got it right.
Damien. I keep forgetting I have push to talk on.
As you were standing within the hamlet of Graymoor, a small village in the world, quote unquote, where you found yourselves ingrained in a murder mystery of sorts. Townsfolk turning up dead in the streets, in their homes. Cattle, horses, all slain. And mysterious footprints and claw prints that appear to have been left by an animal or some other creature. You had been selected by the coroner due to your clear adventurer status to aid in the research and investigation to find out who may be killing the people within Graymoor. You had several interviews with... I can hear myself in your thing. It's driving me nuts.
I changed nothing from last week. It has not been touched.
You had several interviews with various townsfolk, including the coroner himself, Oswald, the barkeep, Sog, and several other folks, including a friend of the locksmith, who also was turned up killed in her home. You discovered that one of the more recent dead had been working on creating locks for the local temple to Selune, and spoke to Father Daragor, who is the... what did we call him? Uncle Church Daddy.
Uncle Church Daddy.
The Uncle Church Daddy for the town. But they were getting ready for the Feast of the Moon. Several potential suspects working in the town, including the father himself, but also a local dwarf who was accused of attacking the first person to die in the town a couple of weeks back. But you continued with your investigation, looking and waiting, trying to find the location of a particular tree when you went and investigated the home of the former sheriff, Sir Thames, who was also found slain in his yard. Unable to find it, you continued looking around, and eventually you found yourselves back at the inn where you have been staying. Sog, the barkeep, woke you on your second night from your slumber. Sorry, I was up on a different page that I should not have been. Didn't make any sense to be there, but I was. And she woke you all saying, "Sorry to wake you, but you've got another body up at the abandoned barn. That Calcian fella's come in pretty shook up about it, and you're not going to like who it is." When you asked further who it was, she said, "You'd better just go look." And so your group headed downstairs, where you see Calcian an elven merchant who has been around town. He is drinking heavily, and you see him sitting there just shaking his head like, I'm never coming back. I should not have come in the first place. Sag comes down behind you all and just kind of like looks at him with this suspicious gaze, and then looks at you all like, and then just leans up against the counter. It's like, kind of suspicious, no? You're the only one to see? And with that, he looks up at her and slams down the tankard that he's drinking from. It's like, I didn't do anything. Don't accuse me of this. Don't accuse me. And Olo is kind of peering through their magnifying glass behind Calcian, looking for any signs of potential lies through the magnifying glass. What are you doing?
Oh, just lost my page. I am.
So, Damien's gonna walk up to the bar and ask, so, who was it?
Calcian turns and looks at you. It's like, I don't know. I don't know who it was. I didn't see anyone.
What were you doing over in that abandoned barn anyway? How did you find him?
Well, I was up there just taking a look around. I was planning on purchasing some land here, moving it down here. Not anymore. I'm not going to do that. Not after all of this.
Now's your chance. The property value's gone way down.
That's not funny. That's not funny at all. But you're right, but it's not funny. Someone has been murdered up there.
Oh, they're still up there. That's not the accent I did last week, was it?
I didn't touch them. I just saw them and I ran straight here. My heart's still pounding.
Do you see anyone else nearby?
No, and I didn't look. I just ran and ran until I got back here. I can't wait to get out of here. I am not going to be purchasing any land here. And Sag is like leaning up against the bar, and she just like rolls her eyes like,
Does Damien believe them?
roll an insight check.
16.
So looking at this elf's face as they're like their hands are you're watching their expression, which is full of kind of like anger and a little bit of terror behind the eyes, is looking back and forth between all of you, and also his hands appear to be like shaking. Like one of them is holding on to the tankard on the bar, like gripped really tightly, but also there's that little shake. You can see that like the knuckles are white. You get the impression that nothing that you're seeing at the moment is leading you to believe that this person does not believe the words that are coming out of their mouth. Like, these are true statements as far as they are concerned. Olo stands up. He's like, I don't see any blood. In the usual places, anyway.
Hasn't
looks.
exactly been clean anywhere else someone has died. So there's a very good possibility that it wasn't you.
Of course it wasn't me. I said it wasn't me. What are you talking about?
Right,
Go
but
up, you take a look.
It's exactly what the killer would say.
No. downs another drink. And Sog looks at you all and is like, well, I mean, you've been hired as the investigators, so...
I guess we're gonna have to go take a look at this one as well.
Why? Because you want that money stuff again.
Well, if you do a service, you usually get some form of payment.
If there's anyone left to pay you. Oh man, that doesn't sound great.
Which is all the more reason for us to solve this fast.
Calcan looks at you and, well, good luck. I'm not paying you anything. I'm getting out of here as soon as I can. In the morning, I'm packing up and I'm leaving. Sog is like, good riddance. I'll have some ales waiting for you when you get back.
That'd be fantastic.
Breakfast ales.
Some.
Which way are we going?
Let me show you. She walks around the bar, opens up the door, and she points down the road. She's like, it's abandoned. It's like about a 30-minute walk outside of town. You see her give like a dirty look to the elf still sitting at the bar. She like leans back, takes a look, and then I'll keep an eye on him.
Sag, what's his deal? Why don't you trust him? You seem to not like him very much.
Well, I mean, he's an outsider, and he was just gonna come in and just snatch up property. Like, we don't even know what he even does. He says he's a merchant, but I don't have any evidence of that. Doesn't wear fancy clothes like normal merchants. He's just different. It's new.
I guess we should get walking.
I'll be here.
Aren't we outsiders too?
Yeah, but at least you're not trying to buy anything. You were just passing through.
Oh. But see, understand the double standard.
Yeah. She, like, looking you in the eyes because she's half-orc. She just kind of, like, slaps you on the shoulder a little bit. Well, I'll have ales ready for you.
Smiles, big, toothy smile, the big...
So you head out in the dark, and the walk to the abandoned barn is a solid half hour, as Sog said, trudging uphill in the woods outside of town. The dark creeps in from the trees, and you can only imagine Calcian's fearful flight into town. The light
It's
of the
morning
moon...
still, though, right?
No.
Oh, I thought it was morning.
No, they woke you up from your sleep. It's like the middle of the night.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh,
I
so
thought like they
walking in the
woke up
dark?
early.
Yeah, no, you're going in the dark.
Ooh.
The light of the moon, just a hair away from full, breaks the canopy in long silken ribbons of light. And eventually you find a clearing atop the hill, and the barn looms before you in the tall grass, foreboding. You approach the barn. It's quiet. You can hear, the wind, but it is cold outside, and so the normal bugs that you would expect to hear out in a field, there's nothing. It's quiet. You can see that the barn door is slightly ajar, and when you open it, you are greeted by a truly gory sight. And stepping in, you immediately recognize the body of Oswald the coroner, ripped into several pieces horrifically, and just as you come in, it is just a sight to behold. Olo
Boy.
immediately...
That's a guy from last night. Or this night. Right?
What's left of him? Yeah.
Could be, man.
Olo pulls out the magnifying glass and puts it up in front of the eye with the spectacle and then starts looking around. And anybody who wants to make an investigation check, I'm going to have Olo do it as well, but...
Try.
I'm going to look around at the plants in here.
The plants?
For an 18.
Okay.
And he's convinced that it's some sort of plant monster.
Oh, okay. So looking through here, did anybody else do an investigation?
I did.
Yeah,
I got a
did-
9.
9?
Damien got a 15.
Okay. So Olo starts like looking around. I'm gonna actually have, just because of I'm gonna have everybody make a constitution check, like as you come in and are like really getting a good look, especially Olo's gonna make one, just because there's a dead body, but then there's like a ripped apart and torn to pieces dead body, and those are two different things. You know, it's just a little bit different. Maybe Thud would be okay, but maybe not.
No.
He walks around with a
But
little
got a
egg.
12.
Okay.
16.
So 14 for Damien.
Okay. It's gonna be a Constitution save.
Oh, it's save?
A save. Sorry, I said check. It's save.
Same thing for
Oh, that's worse.
Damien.
All right. So, Minuet, you're fine. So Olo goes over, like walking over, and it's like the magnifying glass is like blocking everything, and then when they get up to where the body actually is, you see them start going like doing that cat type thing, where they're like, it's like right up on top of the body, and it is just scattered. Minuet, you just kind of do the like, oof, and then watching Olo like have that reaction. Let's see, Damien, what did you get?
14.
14, and then Thud, you got a 10. Thud, watching Olo like have that reaction, you also start to just like, and like the smell of the body, who it might have been earlier that day, it's hard to tell, it's a little bit colder, but just kind of the everything. And then Damien, you look and there's like a brief moment, but you're able to hold it together. Minuet is the only one who's just kind of like, oh, unfortunate.
Oh, stop gagging, all of you. I don't like throw up. Oh, it's gross.
Once one person does, everybody else does.
They back
Stop.
away.
Just stop talking about it.
I can taste it.
Yep. But looking around the barn, the only vegetation that you can see right now is like scraps of old hay bales. There's nothing else growing right now inside of the barn.
I'm starting to think Plant Monster might not be responsible for this.
Make a nature check.
Me?
Yes. Thud.
Where's my nature? 13.
13. So you kind of come over to Olo as they're like gagging a little bit and steer them away, and then looking down at the body, you can see again the work of giant claws. You also, seeing the claw marks and putting together that, you know, this is not the work of like a humanoid, you know, like you look at your own hands, you look at the hands of those around you. This looks like it would be done by an animal, but also, if it was an animal, you would expect to see teeth marks, and you see none anywhere. It's just claws. As you're standing there, just kind of peering and looking and trying to rubbing the back of Olo's shell to try to calm the gagging.
Did not see any teeth marks, only claws.
Do you see anything else like around the body or in the barn other than hay?
Mostly hay, but as you are walking around, kind of taking a look and investigating, you suddenly hear a soft thunk. And you turn and see that the barn door is shut behind you. And within seconds, as you sit there all looking at each other, trying to figure out what is going on, the scent of burning mold envelops you. And black smoke starts to rush up the walls like an inverted waterfall, and flames climb from the corners to the rafters. What do you do?
Bud thinks this is bad.
Are there any windows in the barn?
The only windows that are in the barn are like up on the loft area, which you would normally be able to get to if there were ladders here. But other than, and they are shut, they look to be closed themselves. It is dark in this barn. Yeah, the building
It's gonna
is
ram
burning.
the door.
Okay, make a strength check. As Olo is like, oh no. Let me see what Olo's strength is.
A nat 1.
I'm actually going to say that Olo, with their strength, is going to help you. So you can roll again. As both you and Olo rush towards the door to try to break it open.
There we go, 16.
Okay, so you rush forward, the two of you together, like you hit it first, and you can tell that it is, like, it's being held closed on the other side. So then you look at Olo, and the flames are coming up, it is getting hard to breathe, you start coughing, and you and Olo, like, nod at each other, and I don't know, I keep blurring out here, but you nod at each other, and then you rush forward together and slam into the door at the same time, and bust through to the other side. You charge the door, and fall forward into the cold grass, as the other two come out behind you. You stumble out of the burning structure. You're panting in this frigid air, the cold air burning your lungs, and the sweat is like cooling on your back. Behind you, within only a few seconds, is 10, 15 seconds after getting out, you see the barn just collapses. This geyser of sparks climb up into the night sky, and around you, the dark of the woods is torn away by the fire and cast into these jumping and like leering shadows. For just a moment, two yellow eyes reflect the firelight back at you before they vanish into the trees.
And Bud pick up a pebble and cast magic stone on it and throw it in the direction of the eyes.
Sure. Make an attack roll.
12.
12. Okay. So you pick up very quickly, picking up the stone and throwing it with all your might into the woods. You hear it make an impact against a tree and then do that little like explosion. But by the time it hits out there, you don't think that there was anything left for it to hit.
Bud missed.
We should try and go and see where it went.
Are there tracks?
Olo takes out their trusty magnifying glass and begins heading out in that direction. You can either make a, we can have Olo make a survival with advantage, or somebody else who is proficient in survival.
Not proficient in it.
So if everybody's helping, then I'll have Olo make the check with advantage. These dice I chose are gross. I have the digital dice, and when it rolls, it makes this like, it's the heart one, and it makes this sound of like flesh hitting, you know, like wet meat hitting the table or something. Okay. 22. So as Olo comes around the corner, you see Wolf Trail again. Immediately able to identify, and Olo says it, like, wolf tracks again. But also, they say that and then look back at you all and say, but much bigger. Bigger than I've ever seen. And all of you peering down with the light of the fire crackling behind you, you can see that these tracks appear to be very similar to the ones at George Gilly's house. You're muted, I think.
Sniffling too much. I figured I'd spare everybody. I said, we follow.
Oh. But also looking at these tracks, Thud, again, as you are peering down, these tracks, these paw prints, they are not big enough to have done the damage to the body that you saw in the barn.
Is it the full moon at this point? Like, have we gotten to that, like, feast of the moon yet?
Almost. Looking up at the sky, you can see the moon is like that little bit, like one more sliver. Tomorrow night will be the full moon. You turn around and look, and you can see the barn is burning, and you know that the body of the coroner is not going to be salvageable by the time that's all over, unless you maybe get the town folk to come.
It wasn't a wolf that started that fire.
Maybe.
Someone tried
Big
to lock
wolf.
us in there.
With hands.
That door was locked from the outside and then set on fire.
The wolf has an accomplice.
One who would know that we were heading that way.
Well, the only people that knew we were coming here were Kalkian and Sog, right? Unless whoever it was already here.
I think we should get back into town.
Maybe.
Find out if everyone is where they're supposed to be.
Is it too dangerous to try to follow the wolf tracks in the middle of the dark night?
I don't see too good at night. I don't know about the rest of you.
No, that's a good
Let's see,
question.
fine.
I see fine, actually, too.
Olo is like, even with my magnifying glass, I can't see that great.
Well, then maybe we go get those ales.
Yeah.
All right, so you turn and head back to the town, going a little bit faster this time because you know the direction that you're going, you know how to get back. And when you return to the Graymoor Bend, you can see that Sog has been gathering what looks to be a rescue party. There are a bunch of people there, including um, Henriette, the human that with the red hair that is always kind of hanging around where Sog is. And when you approach, you see Sog comes over and is like, "Whoa, we were just about to head up there. That looks like a raging fire. You guys all right?"
Never better.
Thirsty.
"What happened?"
Oh, well, we went to see the body and it was ripped to shreds, and then something or someone locked us in there and set the whole place on fire. Um,
When you say
and
that,
that's
you
about
see a
it.
bunch of the townsfolk all look at each other, and then there's whispering, and um, Sog like turns to Henriette, and they start whispering to each other, and there looks to be like a lot of confusion. And Sog's like, "Who would do that? Who else knew you were heading up there?"
Just you and Calcian, I think.
You see Sog look at Kalkin. Kalkin is standing like kind of on the outskirts of the group, and he's like, "That's it. I'm out of here. I'm leaving." He turns around. He sees everybody kind of looking at him with this suspicion. He goes into back into the inn. And Sog looks at you all and is like, "No." And then as you are sitting there in the dark, there's light from the buildings around. You can see like one person in the crowd is like, "I just can't go to sleep anymore. It's just it's too terrifying." Um, an owl swoops out from the trees and lands nearby, and everybody looks over at it, and you see everyone instantly gets quiet. And then Henriette steps out from the crowd and points over to the owl and is like, "It's got a letter." And sure enough,
Ooh. Hope I get Hufflepuff.
tied around the bird's neck with a piece of twine is a pale, sealed envelope. And you can see the owl preening itself, and it cuts the string with the beak before flying away. And the letter just flutters down to the frosty mud on the ground. Henriette looks
Damien,
at you.
can Damien pick it up?
You pick up the letter, and it's blank on the outside. But when you open it, you see the words, "Send them to me." And as you open and read those words, Henriette comes up towards you and peers over your shoulder. Um, and she then leans back a little bit, looking at you all. It's like, "Old Lady Sybil. She lives out
Who is
alone in the
that?
woods. It's just an old woman." She looks around at the townsfolk who are all giving you all the like, ooh, kind of eye as Henriette looks over at Sog and then back to you and says, "No normal person could possibly live out there in the woods, but this woman has been out there for a long time. I mean, the rest of them don't really trust her, but she asked me for help translating some scrolls once, and she's really a nice little old lady, but she's been really friendly. But, she's that old lady in the woods. Parents around here like to
Been in the
tell their
woods for most of
kids,
his life.
yeah, well,
And my father deals with a lot of old ladies in woods.
I don't know how to take that statement, but, okay.
Just business transactions, that's all.
Okay, all right. What does your father do?
Business transactions.
Sure, all right. Okay. She looks over at Zog. Zog's like, "Mhm. Well, I can I can tell you how to get to her house, but it's late. It's dark. You should probably wait until the morning. Um, it's a whole day's walk there and back. And with that, you see Olo kind of looks at you all and is like, a whole day? Takes you aside, like a little huddle, looking at all the townsfolk. Like, tomorrow is when that sword is supposed to be dropped off to Sir Tame's. Now that I think about it, the tree with the owl. We can't miss that.
Well, we don't know where the tree with the owl is. Maybe the old lady in the woods would know.
Maybe we follow this owl back to its tree.
The owl's gone. You look around, the owl flew off when it.
Oh, back to Hogwarts.
Mm.
You want me to go to Sir Tame's and wait, and you can go?
It might be the best for the best. Somebody has to be here for the delivery.
In the morning, I can keep looking for that tree. Maybe I wasn't looking high enough. They take the magnifying glass in front of their spectacle and like look up. I was kind of looking down.
You only find roots looking down.
Yeah, owls are up. Well, I can do that while you go find the lady.
Yeah,
That
I
sounds like
think
a
that's
plan.
think that's best.
Ollie is the smart one.
You too, Thud, you too. We split a brain. We split brain power.
Only some days.
Mhm.
So you turn as Sog looks at you all and is like, I got your ales in the right on the counter. We're gonna go we're gonna go check out, see what we can salvage from the barn while the fire, Let's make
Just
sure
be
You know,
everyone's
careful
okay.
out there. Make sure no one goes alone.
yeah, I don't
Very
want to freak
messy
you
on the
out.
inside.
And we did see some eyes. Maybe, I mean, it looked like it could have been some sort of creature that um, destroyed the body. And then we thought we saw something out in the woods. So just you know, stay vigilant. Don't go anywhere.
When you say that, Sog looks over at the rest of the townsfolk, and you see the townsfolk just kind of everyone's like looking at each other, and Henriette comes over to Sog and like she's much shorter, so she puts her hand on her lower arm and she's like, maybe maybe we wait until the morning. Maybe this isn't such a good time. They're saying that there's creatures out there. And Sog looks down and is like, that's a good point. You, how about you all have your ales? I'll lock the door again, and we'll wait until the sun's up. And then says, I'll meet you here in the morning."
All right, sounds like a plan. Let's have that ale.
So you all sit down, have your nightcaps, and then go to sleep. And in the morning, you gather out in front of Graymoor Bend as the sun is rising. The cloud above has broken up. Um, you know that tonight is going to be clear, and the full moon will be bright for the Feast of the Moon. Olo just kind of nods to you all and says, well, you know where to find me. I'll be at Sir Tame's. Turns around. and starts walking down the road towards the former sheriff's home. And as they are walking away, you see Henriette and her bright red hair just kind of coming up quickly. And she has a smile on her face as she approaches, and she's got the scroll in her hands. And as she comes over, she hands it out to you. Uh, and she says, "For a minute, I thought I wasn't going to find it, but these are the instructions on how to find old Lady Sybil's house safely. There's different ways you can find it. This is the safest." Um, and as she holds it out to you, she unfurls the scroll, and you can see instructions written down. And it says, "Step 1 is go to the edge of the wood. It doesn't matter where. Step 2 is to whisper the following: Freedom on the edge of the wood, a pale star, guided by the spirit who walks freely." After that, the third step is to walk forward until the trees block out the sun. Then, step 4 is to close your eyes and keep walking until you feel her doorstep.
So it's complicated directions for finding old lady home.
She likes to remain hidden. Step 5 is do not go inside unless invited.
That's just mad good manners.
And step 6 is to leave, do everything in reverse. So Henriette hands you the scroll with the instructions. I'd appreciate getting that scroll back when you're all done, but good luck, and we'll be waiting for you.
We'll return as soon as we can.
Okay.
Are there any like flowers or anything around, like just growing?
You see, it appears that this town has some of those winter lilies around, that as you look around at them and the arrangement, you get the impression that, at least based off of what you know and have seen of him, Sir Thames was likely the one. If you could imagine the sheriff like kind of going around town and keeping up with various landscaping things as part of his job, probably in a town where there wasn't too much going on until his death. So yeah, there are some winter lilies, the pale lavender-ish, like getting there, but kind of frosty lavender color around the town.
Minuet's gonna gather some flowers and make a little bouquet and tie a ribbon around them that she has in her bag. And she's gonna say, I think Thud was right about manners and being polite. So since we're outsiders and this lady, her whole deal makes me kind of nervous, maybe it wouldn't hurt if we brought her a bouquet.
Bud likes that idea.
Definitely can't hurt our chances.
All right. So you head towards the woods. Doesn't matter where. And what do you do?
We gotta find the edge, an edge, any edge. Okay?
Yeah.
So you stand just outside of the edge of the woods, on the outskirts of the village, and you're just kind of looking out into the trees, mostly dead, but there are some, pines that are still out there with some green. You can hear the animals. It looks like just a regular old wood. There's gonna you're as you're looking at it and realizing that you're going to have to close your eyes at some point, there are parts where it's very densely packed and you're just like, I don't know. Hopefully this works, or else we're gonna be walking into some tree trunks.
All right. I guess there's only one way to find out if this works or not.
We close eyes first, or we say long poem first.
I think we say
Everyone
long
is-
poem.
Whichever one is step 2, we do that, and then we do step 3.
Do we all say the poem? Do we
I
each
think
say a
so.
word and go around? Or should we say it in unison?
Maybe in unison. Say it
Okay.
together.
Okay. She said to whisper it. So, are you guys ready? 5, 6, 7,
We'll
8.
try. Freedom
Freedom on the edge of
on
the
the
wood.
edge
wood.
of the wood.
A pale
A
star.
pale star.
Guided by the spirit.
Wait, what was? Oh, I didn't write that part down.
Walks really.
Oh yeah, walks freely.
I'm sorry, that just killed me. I don't know why.
I think all the words got out one way or another. Hopefully
Yeah.
that's good enough.
Oh, just like totally corpsed right there for a moment.
Okay. Do you
That thing when you're supposed to be singing in a group and you're like.
Just mouthing the words.
All right, so you whispered the incantation. What do you do next?
We're supposed to walk forward until trees block the sun.
Walk.
Yes. Let's find a place that's not too dense. Walk in.
So you all look at each other and then begin stepping into the forest, only walking a few steps before you see that the shade from some of the pine trees begins to block the sun out. And the shade, it gets cooler as you step into that.
Okay. The next step is we have to close our eyes and walk until we feel the doorstep. Feels like an accident waiting to happen. There's a lot of things we can trip on here.
Bud does think this is a safety hazard.
I think Minuet's gonna put one hand its like elbow, and then her other hand she's gonna kind of hang on to Damien's like jacket, just so that they all at least go in the same direction.
Yeah, because you know Bud was just gonna stray.
Uh-oh.
Well, I guess here goes nothing.
All right. I am going to very quickly plug into my Ethernet. So 1 second, because I keep losing connection.
This walk is taking longer than I thought.
Take this moment to grab a drink.
Whose hand is down there?
For some reason, it has decided to not cooperate. So let me just plug us in. All right. So, holding on to each other, you step forward with eyes closed, knowing that only, 7 or 8 steps ahead of you, at least one of you would smack straight into the trunk of a tree. But 1, 2, And then 3 steps in, you feel your feet touch a solid surface. And when you open your eyes, Sybil's house stands before you. Not the ramshackle hut that you may have expected, but a tall, thin manor. At least 3 stories high, the house must have once looked magnificent, but standing for so long in the woods has turned it gray and covered with a coiling vine and some cobwebs. As you walk up to the door, you find a bronze door knocker, half oxidized and green, and it's a lion with a ring in its mouth, but something about it keeps you from knocking. It's as if it can see you. And then at your feet, as it is staring at you, you avert your eyes for a moment and looking down, you can see that there is a package. And on the package, you read Minuet, Thud, Damien, Olo.
Either that's a
Ooh.
really big coincidence or that's for us.
But didn't know Amazon delivered here.
Maybe this is a new distribution point.
Ooh. Maybe they use drone.
Do you think the drone has to say the poem too?
Maybe a wizard with a sending stone and a drone.
Good question.
Now, the one with the sending stone, do you think he has to close his eyes, or since he can't see, it's just kind of assumed?
Deep questions. I'd have to meditate on those.
While we think about that, we should probably open up the package.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So looking down at your feet, you bend down and see that this package is a very nicely wrapped box, and it's got a brown ribbon tied in a bow around it. As you pull it open, um, and open the box itself, you see that there's another letter and 2 objects. The letter reads, "Hello, lovelies. I've been interested in you since you started poking around, and I think it's only fair I make myself known to you, given that it's likely we would have crossed paths later anyhow. The long and short of it is I want to help you. I can't tell you exactly what it is you must do because frankly I have no idea. But I can give you this key. Take it to Henriette's library and follow the map. You'll find what you need there, and don't forget Sir Tame's sword. Remember, do your best, and if you don't figure it out by midnight tonight, everyone in Graymoor will die. Kisses, Lady Sybil." As you turn the note over and place it down in your hands, you find an old wrought iron key that is heavy and rusted. And then you see a map that is scrawled on a roll of parchment, and it says Henriette's library.
Is it like a map? Is the library in the town or is it out of the town?
You just see what appears to be like a rough drawing of a home, of a library, with an X on it, signifying something is there.
Hmm.
Given that Henriette lives in the town, it is likely her personal library, and this is a map of it.
Okay.
So I guess we have to go back to the town, to Henriette's house, and
So we don't go in.
I I don't know. I
it,
feel like maybe she left all this for us so that we wouldn't come in.
Oh, maybe leave flowers at door then.
Yeah, the minuet's gonna set them down on the doorstep and say, "Thanks, girly."
Kisses.
Kisses.
The lion knocker just kind of looks at you and then gives a little wink. All right.
So now we close eyes and walk backwards.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. You close your eyes, I assume holding on to each other to make sure that you all stay, and you start walking backwards.
And then make a dexterity saving
Nope.
throw.
You walk backwards, and at a certain point, you can feel a slight temperature shift, and the darkness that is, your vision, you see begins like changes to that little orange glow that indicates that you have stepped into sunlight.
All right, that's good. So now we're at the part in the directions where there was that poem.
Oh no.
Do you think we have to
But
read
not
the poem back or just read it now?
I'm gonna go just read it now. I mean, because if it was totally backwards, we would have had to walk on our hands.
Hmm, that's a good point. You know what? We don't have a whole lot to lose. I think you're right. Let's just try reading it forwards, but backwards, but forwards though. Together?
I think that's best.
Okay. 5, 6, 7,
freedom.
8. Freedom on the edge
On the
of the
edge of the
wood,
wood.
Woods,
a pale
veil,
A
star
star,
pale
guided
star
is it
by the
guided.
spirits
spirit,
who
Got
walks
that part?
freely.
free,
Amen.
man.
Walks freely. The end.
You open your eyes and find yourself standing on the edge of the wood where the light ends and the shadow in front of you begins. And you turn very quickly to kind of like look around, and you are in the middle of the woods. Not sure exactly where,
Oh
but
no, did we do it wrong? Maybe we were supposed to read it backwards. What do we
Mhm.
do?
Can we try again?
Yes.
Freely walks that star, right? Porn star? A pale woods. No,
Oh
don't think
no.
this is a bad idea.
I don't think you want that doing it. Real life Cuba has dyslexia. I don't think reading backwards is gonna work.
Okay, I mean, I don't know what to do other than, I guess, try that, right? Or wander aimlessly and then everybody eventually dies, including us. So maybe I'll just try.
Two
Maybe I'll just give
options.
it a try. Maybe I'll just give it a try. Okay. Freely walks whose spirit the by guided star, pale wood the of edge, the on freedom. And she looks around.
You turn when you say that, and you all turn and look behind you, and you are standing on the edge of the wood with the village within your view, and you have escaped Sybil's portion of the wooded area around the village.
Really interested to see where we were and how long it would have taken to get back.
That's
This
that's a
time I'm
really
going with my instincts.
that's a really neat trick.
Are you
Okay.
headed? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no. Well, I guess we have to head back, but we have to find Henriette's house. But I don't know that we should just ask her where her house is. I don't think she's gonna just let us rifle through her library. Oh, plus Olo, is that tomorrow? Olo's getting the sword. He's looking for the tree. Hmm.
Olo will get the sword.
Okay.
We are running an investigation, so if we go to Harriet's, we can just question them and try and find the library in the meantime.
Make a fake warrant.
Are you heading back to Graymoor Bend, the inn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So you make your way back to the town square where the Graymoor Bend is located. Of course, Sog can be found. And she willingly directs you towards Henriette's house, which is just a little ways down the way. She steps outside and points. Um, you get the impression, based off of what you've seen, that Sog and Henriette have had a relationship. What it is, not quite sure, but just their demeanor around each other gives that impression. Um, Heading over to Henriette's, she opens the door, um, takes back her scroll with a thank you, and then when you show her the map, she says, "Oh, interesting. This is my basement." She really is a very, very weird old lady. I'm happy to help. Come down. Um,
Thank you, much appreciated.
she brings you down the stairs, and she, as you were walking down, you show her the map as well as the key. And when she sees the key as you're heading down, she's like, that's a bit disturbing. This is a key to the special scrolls that I have in my basement. How did she even get this? This was upstairs in my room. I I'm gonna have to have a talk with her next time I see her. But um sure, come on down. And as you um she takes the key and puts it into the lock and with like turns with this like little scream and clink, but it turns easily enough. And the lock pops free, and there are motes of dust that float around the candle that Henriette has brought with her, and she like hangs back, um, letting you all in. She says, "I haven't been in here in a little bit. I don't want anything to catch fire, so um, go ahead." She opens up the door. She says, "It's in the back corner over there."
And we'll reach for it.
Okay. So you head into the room and you find in the back corner, based off of the location on the map, a book of folk tales. And when you, so Damien, you would have to have some kind of light with you, but the other two have the ability to see. Um, so you can bring it back over to Minuet as you head over, opening up the book. And she leans, but keeps the candle far away. And she says, "Oh, that is an interesting one. You can see an ear like a um, dog ear, and when you open it, it's marking the page on lycanthropy. And reading through, you see some passages about the curse of lycanthropy. You read that a humanoid creature can be afflicted with the curse after being wounded by a lycanthrope or one or both of the parents being them. A remove curse spell can rid an afflicted lycanthrope of the curse, but a natural born can be freed of the curse only with a wish. They can either resist the curse or embrace it. By resisting it, they retain their normal self and personality while they are in a humanoid form, and they live their life as they always have. They bury the bestial urges that are within it, but when the full moon rises, the curse becomes too strong to resist, transforming the individual into the beast form or a horrible hybrid, like a hybrid animal with animal and humanoid traits. When the moon wanes, the beast within can be controlled again. If a cursed creature is unaware of its condition, it might not remember the events of the transformation, though the memories often haunt them in their dreams. Some people see little point in fighting against what they are, and they just kind of accept it. With time and experience, they can master it and shape change, and can assume their beast form or their hybrid form whenever they would like. But most lycanthropes that embrace their bestial nature succumb to the bloodlust, become evil, and become opportunistic and prey on the weak. And this is just kind of a general, like, you can be many different types of beasts. It's not just necessarily wolves or that we are used to hearing about. It can be lots of different types of creatures, including bears, boars, rats, tigers, just about anything. And with Henriette looking over your shoulder, she's like, "You don't think."
Seems so.
Hmm.
Who in town has been bitten by animals?
I don't know. As you close the book, a loose sheaf of paper folded up many times in the one of the pages falls loose, and you can see as you pull it out, Henriette takes it from you and looks at it and says, "A scroll of moonbeam. Hmm, these are all not very good signs." And she hands it over to you, whoever wants to take it. Thud, I think, would be the one who would have the most luck with it as a druid. Moonbeam. I'm going to double check, but I believe that it is a druid. Um, I'm almost 100%.
Sounds druidy.
Uh, Pretty sure it's a druid spell. It is. So Moonbeam, for your information, this scroll allows you to cast it one time, range 120 feet, concentration up to a minute. So a silvery beam of pale light shines down in a 5-foot radius, 40 feet high, and dim light fills the cylinder that it shines down. And when a creature enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it's engulfed in ghostly flames that cause searing pain, and it must make a con save. Takes 2d10 radiant damage on a failed or half on a success.
What
A
level spell is it?
second. Moonbeam, it's just one word. So yeah, you could add it to your list of spells.
It's not coming up.
Oh, your first level, it won't let you. Okay.
Well, even when you search the inventory for scrolls, it's
Oh,
not coming up.
you only could get scroll second level, and then you have to know what it is. It'll allow you,
Ah,
yeah, just generally. So when you exit Henriette's house, make your way to Sir Thames, you can see Olo is there, and they greet you outside the front door. They say, "Well, I found it," and they're holding up this beautifully made sword that appears to almost have a kind of crystal on the end of the hilt. Um, it is like has this very soft blue light that appears to be emanating from it, and very, very sharp looking. Um, Olo also turns and says, "You know, the first time we came here, it looked a little dusty, but this time it looks like someone else has been here. I was going through the house, it's all turned up, and then I went out to the greenhouse and was looking out the window, and wouldn't you know it, right up there in the trees, I saw an owl. Led me right to the sword."
Good job, Oli.
Well done. I wonder if whoever turned the house over was looking for it too.
Yeah, maybe.
They should have looked up.
Hmm.
So by the time you have made your way to the Sir Thames, it is rolling up on evening time. It's been several hours between going through the woods, walking. When you got back, more hours had passed than you actually had thought. And you can see that the sun is setting, the moon is rising, and as you step outside of Sir Thames' house and look up into the impending darkness, you see the moon is now full in the sky. You know that the feast of the moon is going to be starting over at the Temple of Selune. And it is very likely that this is what Sybil meant when she said, if you do not figure out what will happen, the feast is a very convenient place where all of the townsfolk, as you were heading to Sir Thames, you could see them all starting to congregate at the chapel. An easy target for whoever might be deciding to finish what they started.
So we go to the chapel or have ideas of who Beast might be?
I, I think that's where they're going to be. Only one way
Yeah.
to find out who it is wait for them to strike.
Yeah. I was just thinking, wasn't the chapel where they were like reinforcing the doors and locks? Um, I
You
can't help
think
but
they're
wonder if they were trying to keep something out or if they're trying to keep something or some things in. Also, I don't know. Just we just really need to be careful. I think you're right, Damien, that we need to go there and wait probably, but
Need to be ready.
hmm
Did, did that book tell us anything about weaknesses of lycanthropy?
we do have that spell. If we could get it with that spell, but I think we would only have one shot. Sounds like.
Olo holds up the sword as well. Don't forget, Sir Thames was waiting for this. Does look like it's got some silver on it. It's kind of glowing a little. Is anybody
Mm,
good with swords?
mm, I,
I don't
I
know.
can't.
Who's good with
I can't
swords?
use a sword.
How would I know if I'm good with swords?
It'll
In
be
your
under the
weapons.
page that says proficiencies, and then it'll be under weapon proficiencies.
I have crossbow, hand, longsword, rapier, short sword, simple weapons.
Olo hands over the longsword to you. Minuet.
It's on you. Should I just use
Also,
simple
no.
weapons?
So this is called the Moon Touched Sword. It is a +1 weapon. As you are standing there and Olo hands it to you and you take it in your hand, you see it glows just slightly with, and then the glow brightens as you're standing kind of on the stoop of Sir Tame's home, creates bright light in a 15-foot radius and then dim light for another 15 feet. You have +1 to all your attack and damage rolls made with this weapon. And it is, if you wanted to write down 1d10 plus, sorry, 1d8 +1. And you can wield it with 2 hands, at which point it would be 1d10 +1.
Just like logistically, what would be an occasion where you would wield something with 2 hands versus one hand?
Well,
Like
some
if you have a
people,
shield, you have to use it one-handed if you have the shield out.
or if you have 2 weapons, like if you wanted to do 2 weapon fighting, you could have 1 in each hand, or you can do 2 hands. So in your case, with a level 1 character one shot, you could, it's probable that you would use 2 hands unless you, because you don't have 2 weapon fighting yet, you're too low. As a bard. There are a lot of classes that, might have
Just as a, it might be better if that was a moon touch rapier for her character. Just, just, just throwing that out there because strength for a longsword and dex for a rapier.
We could switch it.
I'd hate for her to go to swing with a negative modifier for her first time playing D&D. That doesn't set up a good feeling.
Someone else that's stronger can swing it. That's to hand it over.
Oh no,
I can carry it.
Damien's just as strong, but he isn't proficient in anything other than a dagger.
Yeah, and I'm only proficient in simple weapons.
Yeah, Olo isn't built for this either. So we can switch it to a rapier so that it's a
Nobody can use the sword. What a
She is the
brute.
best
When the
warrior
bard is
of
swinging the sword around, you know you might be in a little bit of trouble.
this.
I
This is
got
why
this,
they
guys.
no party planning. This was all right off the cuff.
Yep. So yeah, you can use when you make your attack. So you already have a rapier in your inventory, so when you make your attacks, just add an extra 1 to it. Or actually, you know what I will do? I'll just add 1 to you. Oh, I can't. Can I? Yes, I can. I'm just gonna give you a +1 rapier. Oh, there you go. It is in your inventory, and I will equip it for you. So now you don't have to worry about anything. It's already in there. All right, so you all head towards the chapel. You are stepping up, and you can see Father Daragor is greeting people as they come in, and as you walk in, he's come in, come in. And you can see that the hall of this chapel has been set up for like a big feast, and people are all sitting down at this long table, getting ready to eat. If you, as you're walking in, getting yourself situated is pretty decently busy. And let me see. This is a little bit. Okay, so as you walk in, you see Father Daragor. He kind of goes back into a back room, and there are a couple of priests and priestesses of Selune who are around and greeting people and helping people to their seats and whatnot. Um, Once you step inside and are looking, trying to get your bearings of the chapel, you begin to look around and you can see that there are locks that have been engaged at the front door. And you'd step over and look and see a couple of priestesses who are kind of arguing nearby, and you can see that there are three metal rods that appear to have locked themselves, and the door is you cannot get out. And so the two priestesses nearby are talking to each other and they're kind of arguing a little bit. And as you're making your way around the chapel, um, you hear them just say that the lock appears to have engaged itself and they can't figure out how to unlock it. Uh, in People are getting ready, sitting down, getting ready to eat, and you catch your view of the door that Father Daragor had gone back into in the back of the chapel. And it has like a little symbol of Selune up on the top of it. And there are a couple of priests and priestesses walking around.
So that we walked in and the door's locked. Is that what just
Yes.
kind of happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
It's like
walked
the
in,
one we
it
came
took
in
a
the only.
Yeah, it took a
Yep.
minute. Like everybody, it almost like it waited until people weren't paying too much attention, but then the priest and priestess went over to check it out and they can't figure out how to unlock it.
And like, is pretty much everybody in the town already in here?
Yeah, the town's in here. People aren't really paying attention either. They're just kind of sitting down, starting to eat. The only people who are paying attention are the two um acolytes that are there. Who are a little bit perturbed by the fact that the door is locked. You don't see Father Daragor anymore. He walked out through the other door on the other side.
I scan the room for anybody looking bestial or smiling suspiciously.
No, looking around the room, this seems like just a bunch of folks who are enjoying a meal and getting ready. It's very, very busy, people talking. Nobody looks bothered
Can
by anything.
can we try to find the Sky Daddy father priest in his room on the other side?
Yep, so as you head over to the other side of the room and begin to like you go to open up the door to the room that Father Daragor went in, one of the priests come over and is like, I'm sorry, you can't go in there. That is Father Daragor's sanctuary. No one's allowed down there.
There seems to be a problem with the door. I think
Prob-
I can't get it open.
Oh, really? Oh,
I'm sure the father would want to make sure that everyone can get in.
well,
Sure, there's still
no one's
some
allowed
people.
down there. Not even us. We're not allowed to go down either.
Right, but we're not you.
Well, that certainly is true.
Exactly. Did he specifically say that Damien Miniot and all of us could not go down?
No one can go down.
But we're not no one.
At this point, Olo just is like, I'm just gonna push him out of the way. And then just wedges in and takes their shell and just does a like kind of back check to the priest and make a roll. If I can get to freaking campaign. The priest doesn't really stand a chance. So, unless I roll really, really badly. No, they don't even have strength here. Hold on. Language. Right. So you see them kind of like going back and forth a little bit, back and forth, and Olo was like, just go in, just go in.
Damien's definitely opening that door.
Should we try to
So
be sneaky so maybe we can like get the jump on him?
Okay, so
Maybe
did
he
you
won't
just check the
notice.
priest down the hallway?
no, against the wall, like on trying to like push them out of the way so you all can get down.
Oh, okay.
So when you step inside, you enter this large room of white stone, about 40 feet by 40 feet. Beautiful stained glass along the top of the outside wall, and a single effigy of Selune. And it sports this large set of wings. Um, and you can see that one of them is turned slightly, and there is the stone has been pushed just ever so slightly so that you can see that leading underneath this stone statue are steps. So as you go over and continue turning the wing, Olo turns and closes the door behind. Um, and you can hear the priest on the other side like, I can't go in there. You know I can't go in there. Neither can you. You're not supposed to be in there. And
Okay, you will not be in here. You will be safe.
you turn around and when you push on the wing even further, it slides to the side, revealing steps that go down.
Well, I think we all know where we have to go now.
Yeah.
Was it like really loud? Or can we like go stealthy?
It was decently loud where you are. How loud it is when you go down, you're not quite sure, but so heading down, you can roll stealth checks for me. Let me see. Olo gets no disadvantage.
Ooh, a dirty 20. I am a giant stealth creature.
Is that a 12? All right.
The 12 for Damien.
Okay. So we're just rolling stealth checks. We got a 12 for Olo, a dirty 20 for Thud, who's like doot, 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 going
He's like
down.
Fred Flintstone when he's bowling.
Um, yeah, Olo got a 12. Damien got a 12.
15.
Okay. So you head down the uh into the undercroft, and as you're stepping down, there are some moments where you just kind of like slip a little bit, and then you hear like little clinks of stone just fall down and hit the stairs. Um, there's a moment where you kind of realize like you are not going to make your way down here quietly, and as you step through, you find Father Daragor bent before a shrine to a different god, just kind of like back towards you. Not really, it's clear that he can hear you, but he doesn't seem to be perturbed by your presence. Is there anybody who is proficient in religion?
I am.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and make a religion check
Only a +1.
as the
7!
okay. You see this statue, this shrine, and it appears to be a kind of a beast of some kind, almost humanoid, standing there. Um, it's got a like wolf-like face with small but pointed ears. The body is kind of almost like a humanoid, but like a monkey in a way, with a long monkey tail that curls up around. Um, the way that the statue is created, it looks like it has fur, but also feathers kind of sticking out from the arms. The hands are claws, and so are the feet. This like uh, a mixture, almost like a chimera of different types of beasts and creatures. The mouth is open wide with sharp teeth. Um, it does not look like a friendly god that this Father Daragor is praying to at the moment. And uh, as you sit there, you can see, you hear Father Daragor, and he is speaking out to somebody. And looking past him, you can see a young woman who is a shackled to the shrine. So like in front of him, but just a little bit beyond. Um, and you hear him say, "Aaron, it is too late for you. The beast within has taken you, and you have spilled the blood of your own father. But it's not too late to atone. Come with me, we will wipe the slate of Graymoor clean, and then go elsewhere where you can learn to control your gift." And you can see this young girl who's just crying, and the hair is in front of her face, and there are tears, um, as she is there up against the shrine. And she like yells out, like, I'm sorry that I did all of these things. I don't deserve I don't deserve atonement."
Bud was not expecting this.
And the father turns and looks at you all.
Hello.
This like the VIP part of the party?
He looks over at Aaron, and he says, "We can start with them. And I need everybody to roll for initiative."
I've been waiting for those words.
As you see the father begin to transform, and he looks over at Aaron, who also begins to transform.
17.
Oh, sorry, hold on. I gotta open up my thingy. So many things open. All right, my encounters. And all right, let's start this encounter. All right, we've got Damien. What did you get?
10.
10. Minuet?
5.
Olo got a this noise this thing makes. Got a 19 for Olo. We've got a, what was it for you, Thud?
17.
17?
Yep.
Let's get a, ooh. Okay. 17. And okay, so as you watch Father Daragor begins to shift and morph, his clothes being ripped apart, you also watch as the fake teeth that he had in his mouth kind of like just go and fall out. And as he turns his mouth to bare his teeth, it's like and his like lips are kind of flapping, but there's no teeth there. And we are going to begin with Olo. So all right, so Olo is going to, so just to give you a sense of the map too, it's a very long hall with Erin up against this shrine. There are like columns along the side, and Father Daragor is standing about like 10 feet away from you all at the moment. So Olo is going to run forward and with the great club is going to attack Father Daragor. So that is an 18 to hit. Which,
Whoa, with the force.
yeah, which does hit. And that is, she's like, the great club just goes and hits for 8 points of damage against the werewolf. And as Olo slams the great club against Father Daragor, you see the arm of the werewolf just kind of smack the club out of the way, and not as much damage as you would think. Thud, you are up.
Thud remembers the spell scroll, and he's going to use it.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Moonbeam right on the Space Daddy werewolf.
Okay.
Is he considered a shape changer?
Yes.
Okay, then he has disadvantage on. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's changing shape, but it could mean like a changeling. So I don't know. So shape changer. Yeah, the shape changers have a disadvantage
Okay.
on this saving throw.
So you see this Thud pulls out the scroll, and despite acting as if their intelligence is very low, he very eloquently reads out the words on the scroll, and you see a silver beam of light shoot down from the ceiling and engulfs the Father Daragor werewolf in bright light.
Thud not know what came over him. Thud have -1 in intelligence.
You have negative
So
one?
intelligence is -1.
Oh.
We got the brain cells today.
Yeah, I remember to pack them. It's a DC 12.
Okay. Yeah, that's on his turn. So, anything else for your turn? Are you moving? Are you,
Oh. No, Thud's gonna stay there.
Okay. So you're about 10 feet away from Father Daragor.
Yeah.
All right. Father Daragor's turn. Whoops. So, DC 12 con save. He rolled a 5. So you can
Alright.
roll 2d10 radiant damage
Yeah, baby.
as he stands there and the light shines down. And he's like, ah! Screaming. He is going.
5? That's bullshit!
Okay.
2 d10s and you get 5. That's just. Might as well just roll 1 d10.
Well, it happens. It's not like it goes away. Oh. Interesting. Okay, so also, because he fails,
Oh, he reverts to his original
yeah,
form.
so almost immediately you see him, he gets hit with this light and he just goes, "Ah!" And you see him scream, and then suddenly he is a naked old man on the floor, just like looking up at you all, and he's like, "Erin!" And he yells for her.
Human bits.
Let's see. So that is going to. He's going to try to. He moves out of the way of the moonbeam, crawls away. As he does so, Olo is going to take an advantage attack here with the Great Club for a 12 to hit, which does hit. So Olo is going to slam down with the Great Club.
It's for Amanda. She needs to get first blood.
There's plenty of hit points, believe me. All right. So as he's like reverting down, we've got the wolf. It's going to come forward and charge towards you, Thud, because you were the one who read the scroll. So
Is this the chick? She's a wolf
yes.
now?
Yeah, she
Okay.
turned into a wolf. So she runs forward, and she is going to attack you. Oh, wow. This is going to be not that big a deal of a fight. So she comes forward and she chops forward to try to bite you, but you just kind of knock her out of the way. You hear like a yelp as she hits the floor. But she is standing over, she shifts over to stand in front of Father Daragor, who is now this like just pitiful looking man on the floor. All right, Damien.
Okay, so you said she's like right in front of the father. Am I about within 15 feet of both of them, or
Yes.
can I move?
Yeah, you're within 15 feet.
So seeing them both in the same, Damien's gonna throw out both his hands, palms towards them, and cast Burning Hands. It's a dexterity saving throw of 13 and a 15-foot cone. So both of them. He wants to aim it so that he's going to try and flamethrower both of them.
Wow. Okay. So dexterity save. So Father Daragor got a 9. But Erin got an 18.
Okay, so it's 3d6, and then half as much if they make the save.
Okay.
That's 14 points of fire damage, or 7 if they made it.
Okay, so this fire comes shooting out towards the two, engulfing both of them. You see Father Daragor just yelling and screaming in pain, and he's like yelling these things at Aaron. You're worthless! Can't even protect me! And one thing that you noticed as you're looking at the two of them and kind of putting everything together, you can see that Erin, her wolf form appears to be, larger than the average wolf, but the claws and like the hands that you saw on Father Daragor for just those brief seconds that he had them, those more closely matched the wounds that you saw on all of the people who had been killed.
Like he was standing up on his hind legs, like he was more
So
beastie, and she is on all four like a wolf's.
She is a wolf.
Like a
He
wolf.
was a werewolf. And his claws and hands were much larger than her paws appear to be in this moment.
Were the wounds on her father also big like that?
All of the people that you saw killed were killed with giant claws.
So he's telling her that she killed her father, but maybe?
And you are up, Minuet.
Okay. I guess I should use that sword, that rapier. I've got it, after all. So, how do I I go into inventory to do that?
So it should be in your actions.
This is not equipped. So you would have to go into inventory and click on it to equip it,
I equipped
and then it'll
it
be
for
in
you.
action. You equipped. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I equipped it for her.
Okay.
Hopefully it took.
So then in my actions,
Yep.
it just says rapier. I don't know if it's the rapier or if it's. I also already had one.
If you scroll down, it should say Moon Touched Rapier. Does it say that in your actions?
Or are you on the app?
Yeah.
Because she did it remotely, you just need to refresh. So like back out of the app and then go back in.
Oh, little.
Yeah, it's the tech delay. You just have to like refresh it, and it should come up under your actions.
Okay. Ah, there it is.
All right. So then you click the +4, and it should roll it for you.
17.
All right. Who were you targeting?
I don't want to hit Erin. I feel like she's a victim here too. I kind of want to hit Father Daragor.
All right. So 17, that definitely hits. As the wolf is like kind of growling at you, but is also singed by the radiant heat. So now you just roll damage. So you're gonna click on the 1d8 plus 2.
Oh, okay. 3. It was a natural one.
Okay. And I believe, hold on real quick. Okay. As you come forward and you like slice down, the light from the blade just gets brighter as it makes contact with Father Daragor. And he screams in pain as the silver of the sword seems to like kind of cauterize the flesh as you hit. All right, next we have Olo. So, Olo is going to come forward and actually is going to see, Minuet, that you went around the wolf and is going to try to grapple the wolf and keep it in place. So that is a strength check. Oh, that's a natural one. But let's see what happens with the wolf.
Yeah.
If it also rolls this natural, no, it got an 18. So Olo like kind of puts down the great axe and comes over and tries to, or the great club, and then tries to grapple the wolf that just kind of does the like, and is able to push out of the arms. And that was something. Tried to do. Let's see. Nope, that's pretty much it. Next up we have Thud.
I'm going to move the moonbeam onto Wolf Girl.
Okay.
Sorry, this is going to hurt, but it's good for you. She has to make the.
Yep, on her turn. Are you gonna move her or anything?
No, I'm still staying there.
All right.
Oh wait, she's right in front of me, right? Because she tried attacking.
Yeah, she's right next to you.
Then I'll step back 2 spaces.
Okay, she's gonna take an opportunity attack against you.
Oh damn, forgot about that.
With a 7, they are this is, the universe is telling me something. So she snaps forward, but it's almost like she's holding back herself. Like she snaps at you, but far enough away that in your mind you're like, she could have hit me. She could have hit me if she wanted, but she did not. All right, next we have Father Daragor. So he is going to like crawl himself over, and you see a spear on the side of up like on the ground, lying down next to one of the pillars. And he picks that up, and this naked, toothless man comes charging at. We're gonna go with. Who would it be? It would be you, Thud, because you are the biggest, but also because you have that moonbeam going. He is going to attack you with the spear. An 11 to hit.
Nope.
All right, and again, so he swings once and then tries to jab again, and that's a 9 to hit. This is not.
He misses Thud again.
So he's just like. Bleh.
I just picture Thud has his hand out. It's just like
on his forehead, holding him back.
You need to stop, little man.
All right. So.
I wish as a reaction I could just grab the spear out of his hand.
I will let you try. What was that DC? Is it a 12?
12.
For the moonbeam? Okay, so she made it.
Yeah.
But you can roll the damage.
I don't think she makes it. I don't think she gets to revert back, right?
No, she does not revert back.
Damn, that was the whole reason I moved it on her, so we could reason with the human side. All right. 2d10. Wow, 20. Both of them are 10s. Why couldn't I get Space Daddy with? Did I just kill her? I just killed her, didn't I?
Um. So.
Well, it would
I did
only be
not want to
half that, right?
vaporize her. I just wanted to
It
turn
would
her
only
into
be
people.
10. It would only be 10, right? Because she made it. It's half damage, right?
Oh
Please be
yeah,
alive.
no.
Oh, you're
No,
right.
you're right.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
10.
thinking, I'm
You're
like,
right.
We
ooh,
It's
that's
10.
like,
We didn't.
yeah.
I was. That's like nuclear. Like
Like she
girl.
just turns to ash in the beam.
You're like, well,
Work here is done.
Mystery solved.
so she does yelp in pain and then falls over to the side, and you see her body form back into that of the human girl, and she's lying down, not moving,
Oh, good. That's what I meant.
uh,
Oh,
but
maybe not
still under the moonbeam. All right, Damien.
Oh, you said I could try to grab his spear as a reaction?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Make a strength. It'll be a contested strength.
19.
15. So as you're
Here.
you just pull the spear out from his hand. All right, Damien.
So Damien was next to Thud. So he's gonna reach out. He's gonna grab onto the priest and cast Inflict Wounds.
Okay.
A 24 to hit.
Yep, that is gonna hit. So reaching out, you put
That's
your hand deep
three-
into his stomach.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
3d10. I rolled
dead too.
28 necrotic damage.
Oh, yep. Okay, so you just take your hand and shove it into his stomach, and the black veins just begin reaching out from underneath your hand in different directions. He screams and like falls down to the ground and is not moving.
Maybe you should poke him.
I think we did it. I'm just gonna quickly do like prestidigitation, like really loud sound into his ear. See if he moves.
When you do that, he suddenly snaps up and reaches out, and you see a small clawed hand just swing in your direction. One second, sorry.
I mean, he's gonna have to finish him off.
Damn, I rolled a 6. Minuet. So you pull your head back. You see this minuet as Father Daragor with his like flappy mouth and no teeth attacking, but his hand has turned into a final claw.
Drive that sword up his ass.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
That's what we do here.
Okay, so I'll do the moon sword rapier. I got a 13.
That hits.
8 damage.
All right. So, as the father, who did not get to be a werewolf for very long, swipes out in Damien's direction, he backs off real quick just from behind him. Minuet comes up like, ah! And drives the sword through. And the father falls to the ground, like slides off the sword, just back, head hitting the floor. Thud, what are you doing with that moonbeam that is sitting over on top of...
I'm gonna move it onto the corpse of the father,
Okay.
just for safe measure.
All right.
Not gonna dismiss it yet, just in case he has more tricks up his sleeves.
So as you move the
More
moonbeam
claws.
over on top of, well, at least halfway on top of Father Daragor's body, it begins to burn and sizzle. Olo heads over to inspect Erin and see if she is doing okay. Does anybody have medicine or anything?
No.
No, I didn't equip anything.
Any casters have cure wounds or healing word?
Not prepared.
I mean, I'm a warlock. I did 2 spells. I'm spent.
Woo, my job here is done.
The only thing I can do is I can turn invisible for a minute. That's the only other thing I
It's
can
just
do.
like you're just like, oh,
Get out of here.
Yeah, like I have cure wounds, but I don't. It's not a prepared spell.
mm.
How do you know if it's prepared? Do you have to like do
If you go into your spells, you should have the ability. Oh, okay, Olo has it. Olo's gonna head over, interestingly. I was not expecting to see that. Olo is going to walks over and then places their hands on Erin's body and is going to cast Cure Wounds at
Yeah,
first
you go to
level.
manage spells, and
Okay.
then you go to known spells, and then it has a list of cantrips, and then a list of spells that you can prepare.
Some spell classes every time you take a long rest, you can swap out spells, and then other classes it's like they have to wait for a level up. It's like they just know certain spells. So I think
Right.
Bard is a known spells only, but like a cleric or a druid or a wizard, they can prepare spells every day. So certain classes can swap spells anytime they want, basically.
Okay.
And you watch Olo, who surprised me with it, so I don't know how you all felt, but walks over and just casts Cure Wounds despite being an artificer. On uh Erin, who doesn't wake up but begins like breathing regularly again. And then they just kind of like lift up Erin and say, "Well, I think we cracked the case."
I'd say so. I mean, that father, what he was doing to that poor girl, it was obvious that he was the one that did the killings, trying to convince her.
Yeah,
Is
when
there
she was
anything of value in this room? Is there like a gold idol or anything like that?
Loot, 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 loot.
there's that spear.
Oh yeah, there is that spear.
It's
Other
made
than
of gold.
no, no, it's not
Okay.
made of gold. No, there's not
Well,
any.
this is the guy that's supposed to pay us, and Thud doesn't understand or care about money, so he was gonna, if there was like a golden statue to the werewolf god, he was gonna give it to Damien.
Oh,
Oh,
it's payment.
nope, there is nothing. It is just a very simple, very creepy looking statue to this god that you did not roll high enough to know what it is. So as you're standing down there, you hear the door open up at the top of those stairs that led up, and yeah, I'm not supposed to be in here, but is everything okay down there? We heard yelling.
Everything's fine. He's dead.
What?
Yeah, you might want to come down here and see who your priest was actually praying to.
Oh, I'll have to get permission from the. I'll be right back. They
Who's he
keep the
gonna get
door open.
permission from? I thought it was the guy that's here on the floor. I was running the show
What do we
here.
do? We need permission to go down there, but they say he's dead. Well, how can we get a permission? Maybe we wait. Maybe he's not dead.
As you
As a chain
all
of command.
ascend the stairs with Aaron in arms.
Can Thud pick up the body of the priest and just bring it up for them since they're not going to come down here?
Yes, so you are able to dispel your moonbeam, and you actually, as you're gathering up the like kind of charred remains of Father Daragor, you look over and you can see a lever that appears to be attached to 3 prongs, and pointing it out to either Minuet or Damien or both of you, head over there and pull on the lever, and you see the prongs go choop, choop, choop. And you hear somebody up in the banquet hall go like, "Hey, the door's open." And you then begin heading up the stairs back to the banquet, where everyone greets you with shock on their faces as you have the bloodied body of the daughter of George Gilly and the burnt corpse of Father Daragor. And eventually
Here was your werewolf.
we assume that you maybe get paid, but that is where we will end the adventure as you have solved the mystery of the moon over Graymoor.
I can totally see this as a collective town going, get out. Just go. But what about go?
I'm gonna put the invoice right here, and take your time.
Ghostbusters. Oh, we could just put it right back where we found it.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, this was Moon Over Graymoor by S.T. Manel, which is a free one-shot. I don't know. I'm blurry. Hi, blurry.
I think it
Over
keeps trying to focus on your mic in the bottom corner.
Moon Over Graymoor, which is a free adventure on DM's Guild. There we go. And had really, really good reviews. I skipped a little bit because it's getting late, but yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was great.
murder mystery and a little bit of a fight at the end for level 1 characters that went poorly for me
Mhm.
because my werewolf stopped being a werewolf right away.
Which
You
is
shouldn't have given me that scroll.
that was like
that was a fucking that was just
clutch.
like the Death Star beam coming right just the single reactor coming just right through onto the guy.
What's crazy is the werewolves have, I think it's immunity to most physical attacks. Like they don't even have resistance. It's just straight up immunity.
Yep.
Like I think I saw a TikTok of somebody wanted to create like a legion of werewolf fighters where wizards would just portal them over the battlefield like 60 to 100 feet in the air because the werewolf won't take bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm.
So when you fall, you take bludgeoning damage. So they could just literally like Halo
Fall from the
style just
skies.
drop werewolves into the battlefield out of nowhere. It was like, so if your players want to start like murder hoboing, just literally just drop a werewolf from the sky. The werewolf will be fine and keep those players on their toes.
That's why a lot of people for the Blood Hunter they do the Order of the Lycan. Like, yeah, I don't think you get like the immunity, but like you get tankish crazy power by transforming into a were anything.
Yeah,
It
they're
does
immune
have
to everything.
one drawback because I watch it in the new campaign. If they drop below half their health, they have to make a wisdom saving throw or attack the nearest creature, whether friend or foe. So you get all that power, but there's a chance it can, Incredible Hulk style, just freak
Right.
out in the middle of a battle.
Yeah, this guy also had no bite attack because it would be like a werewolf is too big of a deal for level 1 characters. So they're like, he's got fake teeth and they fall out when he turns into a werewolf.
The
So
teeth fell out.
Kind of just
like,
like
okay.
gum your arm a little.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully this was a good little taste of the game.
It's much more different in person when
Oh
we're
yeah.
not half asleep.
Yes, no, it definitely is. Plus, the story that we're telling is, a little bit different than this. I do a lot more like, what are you doing? And you just kind of tell me what you're doing, as opposed to I still have a story to get you all through. So of course, like I'm railroading you to some extent, but it's not quite as like skipping an entire day. Um, so it's a little bit different, but I will be definitely in contact with you about how you will be introduced. They don't know who you are, or maybe they do because somebody popped into the thing and I forgot to make your profile private at first. But either way.
Oh, well,
I didn't
Yeah,
see.
I think we get a couple of guesses in the group chat.
mhm. But you guys
Yes.
didn't see.
I
I
didn't.
don't
No, I suggested it's either the assassin that killed Arik, or oh, who was it that I said was the other one? I can't remember now.
I said it was the snake person that we met
Orphea, I
in
think
the.
her name was. Yeah. Could
I
be.
can't. Maybe one of the
Find out
people
soon.
Zan saved from Talus the White in the basement when everyone
Yep,
was like,
there's
Zan, do not go down there. And everyone's like, no, leave those people. Let's go.
Oh yeah, there were two folks that made it out, and then the last one you all left to be tortured to death. But
It was his decision.
yeah. You're right. You're right. All right.
Two,
Well,
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
yeah, there you go. Well, it's 11:15, so yeah, I will be in touch, and we're all looking forward to June 12th.
Thank you. This
All
was really
right.
fun. I'm excited.
All right.
All right. Well, everybody have a good
Have a
night,
good night,
and
everybody.
we will see
Great.
ya.
You too.
Good night.